In the previous video, we have seen how to find out the maximum or max in the arguments of a function. Now we will see how to add the arguments, some of the arguments in a function, even though that particular function is not having parameters or argument inside its definition. If you see this particular program, first we have written HTML body, HTML tag, body tag, paragraph tag, sum of arguments, PID is equal to demo, closing paragraph tag, script tag, function find sum. Here we haven't passed any parameters, or there are no arguments inside the function find sum. Now we are writing the function body. Now in function body we are having two variables, variable I comma sum, and sum we are initializing it to 0. Then I have used a for loop because I am doing iteration. Why we are using iteration? Instead of using args of 0 plus args of 1 plus args of 2, we are directly finding out the length of the total number of arguments that have been passed. So for I is equal to 0, I less than arguments dot length. So we will get the length of the arguments that have been passed, I plus plus. Then open flower bracket, sum is equal to sum plus arguments of I. Sum is initially 0, 0 plus arguments of I means arguments of 0. So when this code will be activated is when it sees a function call. So in function definition, this is the code we have written, and after function definition we have written document dot get element by id within parenthesis within double quotes demo dot inner html is equal to find sum 10 comma 100 comma 342. So total 3 elements or 3 arguments we have passed. So find sum is a function call. Whenever function call is there, it will go to the function and it will activate the function definition, and when it is activating the function definition, here even though it is not having parameters in the function definition, in function call we have passed 3 arguments, so the length of argument is 3. So here argument dot length will be 3. So I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. So we will execute this and then we will see what the output will get. So we will open Notepad, we will copy this code, we will save it. We will go to our program. So here only 3 arguments we have passed. So what happens? Here I is 0 and 0 less than argument dot length means total 3 arguments we have passed, so length will be 3, right? So 0 less than 3 condition is true, it will enter here. So sum is initially 0, 0 plus arguments of I, that is arguments of 0. So argument of 0 is 10. So 0 plus 10 will get 10. Then I is incremented, I will become 1, then 1 less than 3, condition true, it will enter into the for loop. Earlier some value is 10, so it will get 10 plus arguments of 1. What is arguments of 1? It is 100. So 10 plus 100 is 110. Then I increments, I will become 2, 2 less than 3. Again enter here, sum is now 110. So 110 plus args of 2. What is args of 2? It is 342. 342. So what you will get? 452 sum. Then I increments, I will become 3, 3 less than 3. 3 less than 3, condition fails, so it will not come into this, it will just go to this return sum. What is sum value? Sum value is 452, which we got. And document dot get element by id, when this is executed, what we will get simply 452. And to add a little decoration, what we do, you just write here document dot write argument arguments of I plus a break, just save, then we'll compile cwd from some arg.html. See, what you got? Sum of arguments is 452 and argument 0 is 10, argument 1 is 100 and argument 2 is 342. So when we add these 3 elements, we will get 452. So this is sum of the arguments. Then there is another topic in functions, that is return value. A function can return 0 or 1 value using return keyword. Example, return value from a function, when we see function sum val1 comma val2, return val1 plus val2. So it will add these 2 arguments and then return the value in closing function. This semicolon is we can keep, or if you remove also it will work. Then variable result is equal to sum of 10 comma 20. So this is what function call. This function call will activate the function definition here. So val1 will become 10, val2 will become 20. So return 10 plus 20, 30. This value will be stored in result. So variable result is now 30. So it returns 30. So when we try to print the result variable, we will get answer as 30. Then if you see function multiply val1 comma val2 console.log or simply document dot write. If you give val1 into val2, close. If result is equal to multiply, if you store like this, what happens? We will get undefined. Why we are getting undefined, that we'll see using program. So if you go for a program, so this is our simple program on return. So if you see the program, HTML body, h1 tag, JavaScript argument objects, PID is equal to P1, then closing paragraph tag, PID is equal to P2, closing paragraph tag, then script, open script tag, function name is sum, which we have passed two arguments, and then return val1 plus val2. Closing function, document dot get element by id, id name is p1 dot inner html is equal to sum 10, 20. So this is a function call, this is activated, and function definition is invoked, then it will return val1 plus val2, so we will get 10 plus 20, that is 30. Then we have used another function called multiply, where we have passed two arguments for the function multiply, document dot val1 and val2, then closed function, and using document dot get element by id, we are calling our function multiply 10, 20. So here it will activate the function definition. So val1 will become 10, val2 will become 20. So when it comes here, it will evaluate, but it is expecting a return value, but we haven't given return value, so it will give undefined. So how it is showing undefined, we will see this with a program. Yes, this is our program. HTML body, h1, so this is our function where it is returning val1 and val2. Then this is our function call, so we'll get here, what we'll get here, we'll get 30 as output, because here val1 is becoming 10 and val2 is becoming 20. So here what it is happening, it is adding 10 plus 20, so we'll get 30 here. So that returned value will be stored in this. So here multiply, so is a function call, it will activate the multiply function. So here val1 become 10 and val2 will become 20. So what I am doing, I am printing the value. So this printing value cannot be stored in this particular thing. So if you see what happens, just save it, execute it. See, we got 30 and then we got undefined. Why we got 200, we will see here. We got 200 because we have written document.write. But this but this value is not stored in this. So we got undefined because there is no return value. We got undefined. If you change this code, instead of document.out, if you write return, this will be correct because we are trying to store that. So when we are trying to store that, compulsory we should have a return value. So when we have return value, what happens? We'll just see. We'll just recompile. See, we got 30 and 200. There is no undefined. So this is the correct way. So only for the values which we have to return, we have to use. If you are not using return, what happens? It simply throws undefined. So you have to be careful with that return value. So which function you are using return value, you have to be careful. So we'll see whether this we can enter through keyboard or not. So just write variable x is equal to parse int prompt enter x value similarly we'll take another y is equal to, just copy paste enter y value. Now here instead of passing static values, what will do? I'll enter x comma y. Here also I'll enter x comma y. Just save it and I'll recompile. Yeah, it is asking enter x value, so I'll enter 100. Okay, enter y value 200. Okay, so I got 300 and then this multiplication 24. So this way also you can enter the input dynamically. Now next, if we move on further, where a function returning a function, how a function returns another function, we will see with this particular example. Here what we are doing here, we have written HTML, we have written body, function returning a function, where we have taken PID is equal to P1, close P tag, PID is equal to P2, close P tag, script function multiply x, open flower bracket. When that is correct, it will activate function. We are writing another definition fn, where it is taking y, and then we are returning what? X into y. So we are taking x from the parent function and y from this child. So function within a function, right? So this function x we have taken, this function y we have taken, and then we are telling return fn. So return this function. So when this returning this function, what we are getting? We are getting the multiplication value of x and y. So we have taken a variable called triple. Multiple means multiple 3 means it will activate this function definition multiple, where x is replaced with 3, For y value, we haven't passed, so document.getElement by id p1.inner.html triple 2. So triple is now becoming what? A function two. Then again triple 3 we have it. So we'll see what happens. We execute this. Control C. So we have written the program. I will just save this and then compile. We'll see what happens. We'll execute. Function returning a function. We got 6, then we got 9. How we got 6 and 9? So when we are, the first function is what? Multiple. In this multiple function, what we are doing? We are using another function fn, which is doing multiplication. So multiple 3, only one parameter, yes, one parameter, it will go function fn y so as it is returning, we have to store that in triple. So triple 2 means what happens is it will become x will become 3 and y will become 2, and then triple 3 means what happens, it will become 3 into 3. That is what we got. First we got 6, then we got 9. 6 and 9. Let me see. If you see more about this function returning a function, just see one simple program on that. HTML body PID is equal to demo, script function my function name, return hello, this name will be added, and closing function document dot my function, here I have written John, so name will become John, so we will get written hello John. So if you run, we will get hello John. Now if you go another, this is the basic 4, 3 means here 4, 3 will pass, will become 12, x will become 12, that is what we got 12. We'll see some more how a function returns another function. Then we'll move on to the next topic in functions, that is nested functions. Nested function means writing function within a function. In JavaScript, a function can have one or more inner functions. These nested functions are in the scope of outer function. Inner function can access variables and parameters of outer function. However, outer function cannot access variables defined inside inner function. So if you see simple example, function here show message is a function name which having one argument called first name. Function say hello is another function, the function within a function. This is nested function. Say hello is a function name which is having no parameters. This is saying the definition for this say hello is alert hello first name. So this inner function is also using the outer function arguments. Because say hello we don't have any arguments, but what we are trying to print using alert first name. What is this first name? First name is the argument of our outer function. And then return say hello. Show message means this is a function call, it will activate. So stew means we will get hello stew. If you see the example, HTML body h1 tag demo nested function, script function show message first name, lower bracket open, function say hello but is having no parameters, alert hello first name. So this first name will be taken, and then return say hello, this value will be returned, and then closing our main outer function, and then show message stew. So we'll see what we'll get when we compile it. Control C. So in this we'll get hello first name. So Steve is first argument, that is the first argument in outer function. So we'll get alert box as hello Steve. So we'll just save this program and then we'll execute it. So we got hello Steve. Hello Steve we got. Okay. Then if you go to anonymous function, there is another type of function called anonymous function. HTML body h1 demo anonymous function script variable show message is equal to function. So here function name is show message. This is another way of creating a function definition. So in that we have written alert hello world, closing the function. Show message means that will be activated and we will get hello world. Then variable say hello is another function. Say hello is a function name. This is having one parameter saying alert hello first name. So that argument will be taken. So hello and then closing that function. Show message. So message means again this will be activated. So we are activating 2 times, and third say hello Bill. So what we'll get? We'll get hello world 2 times and then we'll get hello Bill. Close script, close body and close HTML. If you execute this, anonymous function, variable show message function, alert hello world. So this is function definition and this is function call. And there is another function called say hello. This is the function definition and this is function call of first method and this is function call of second method, where I have passed. Here I am having one parameter in say hello, that is one argument that I have passed the value. Closing script, closing body and closing HTML. Save the program, execute. So we got first hello world, again we'll get hello world if you see. Okay, see we got hello world. Now we'll get hello executed. See hello executed. Okay. So this is anonymous function. Now then we'll see one more program on simple functions. So this program is about counting the total number of vowels. How to count total number of vowels in your program. So as we all know, the vowels are A, E, I, O, U and remaining all we consider it as consonants. So in this program what we have done is we have used, first we have written HTML tag, then header tag. In header tag we have written script type is equal to text or JavaScript. And we have taken a variable called count is equal to 0. Function count vowels. Here my function name is count vowels. There I have passed only one argument called name. Then open function definition, writing the code where I have taken a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than name dot length, I plus plus. So we'll find out the name dot length. Length is a string functions which find out the total number of characters available in the name. Then open flower bracket. If name of I double equal to A, or name of I double equal to E, or name of I double equal to I, or name of I double equal to O, or name of I double equal to U. So when you encounter this particular characters in our argument, then count is incremented to 1, because earlier it is 0, so 0 plus 1, count will become 1. So initially variable I is equal to 0, right? So when you entered some name here, if that first character, that is 0th element or the first element, is having any of this A, E, I, O, U, the count will become 1. If it is having, if it is not having, what happens? It will go to the next character by incrementing I plus plus name dot length, depends on the name whatever you have done. It will check again, it will check for this. If it is available, it will count that. Then if repeating all that, if it is a failure also, I is incremented, count will not be incremented for the failure cases. For success only, the count will be incremented to 1. Then hello, the name we are printing, your name has this many vowels. So here what we are doing is we are entering input through keyboard. So we will just execute this. We'll see vowels. Function. Execute it. Function. So in this program, we're just checking. We'll execute and then we'll explain what actually happening. See, I used a prompt, so it is asking for name. Name, what I will do, I will write SB TET. So if you observe the word SB TET, in this S is not a vowel, B is not a vowel, T is not a vowel, E is a vowel, and then T is not a vowel. So what will get? Will get total number of vowels as only 1. Hello SB TET, your name has 1 vowel. Right? If you re-execute, right, A-E-I-O-U as the input, you will get 5. Name has 5 vowels. So how it is happening is, we will see. Here what I have passed in starting, I have passed SB TET as the name, right? So here I is 0 and length, name dot length is 5. Length is 5, right? And length is 5. It says 0 less than 5, true. So it will come here. Name of I, first 0th element is S. It is not matching, so count is not incremented. So it will go to I increments. I will become 1 and then 1 less than 5. Condition true, it will come here. What is name of 1? It is B. No, name of I is not matching with B, so count is not incremented. Again I will be incremented. I will become 2. 2 less than 5. Name of 2. What is name of 2? It is T. Name of 2 is T. It is not matching with A, E, I, O, U, so count will not be incremented. Then I is incrementing. I will become 3. 3 less than 5. What is 3? This is 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Third is E. So name of I equal to A? No. E? Yes. Success. When it is found, what happens? Count is becoming 0 plus 1, that is 1. Count is becoming 1. Then I increments. I will become now 4. 4 less than 5. Condition is true. What is fourth element? It is T. So it is not found, so count will not be incremented. Then I increments. I will become 5. 5 less than 5. Condition now fails. When condition fails, it will come out of this particular for loop and then it will activate document.write hello name. Name will be executed. Your name has count. What is count now? Only 1 vowels. So that's what we have seen. Count has only 1 vowels. See, again execute. Say SBTAT. Hello, executed. Your name has 1 vowels. Then if you have written something other, D, F, G, H, J, okay, all fail conditions. Your name has 0 vowels. Even though if you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will get hello 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your name has 0 vowels. So this here we have passed only 1. Suppose if you have given here 2, what happens? Even though we have not passed anything, but suppose if I have given something, my name comma your name, 2 parameters have passed, have saved. What happens? We will see. Enter your name. I'll enter SBTT. Okay. It is not performing anything. Why? Because it is having 2 arguments, right? So here only 1 argument. Second argument is undefined, so it is not doing anything. Suppose if you are removing this name here, and if you are keeping the 2, let us see what happens. It is asking me the name, so I am entering SB TET. Okay, no effect. So we'll see what happens if I give only 1. Save, execute. It is asking LUAEIOU. Hello, your name has 0 vowels. Because here we haven't passed anything, so it is not finding out the length. Always the condition is failing, so when it is failing, if you want to check that, I will just write here. I will write document dot write name. For this which we are doing it. So it is asking, and what is DTT? Okay. Hello, your name has 0 vowels. Because the program which you have written is not having any parameter, and you are trying to find out the name, you haven't got it. It is not entering it. That's why this is happened. And next topic of functions we'll see in the next video. Thank you.